interesting to see how both sides play this quarter if they change their game style going in the opposite direction.
Yes, and just to repeat the score, I got a score GWS and North Melbourne. It's GWS 6-11-47 leading North Melbourne 5-4-34, and we'll have some more scores. EFL Game Day Score Centre a little bit later on.
Thank you, Barry Cotts. As we're back, just about to start the action, second term of this Division 1 Round 1 encounter at Bayswater Oval. It's Bayswater and South Croydon, 2-1-13 apiece. As we've made clear, it's Bayswater, when kicking to the Mountain Highway, had the advantage of a bit of a wind, but it is swirly, so it makes the judging the football around the grounds quite difficult. We'll see what South Croydon, how they set up. They seem to have a six-man forward line as the signal goes to start the ball, and King wins the tap for Bayswater, but at ground level it's McLeod working it backwards to Stallion, and Bayswater from half-back, kick towards Dyte. Dyte on the bounce, gets past him, but he's got some running help, and Van Rooyen butters up from half forward, gets pushed, this is his kick, and takes a bit off it, and South Croydon take a relieving mark, and a bit of attention on the mark means that there's a 25-metre penalty, so that's good relief for the Bulldogs, as we'll go boundary side to boundary riders for the quarter time wrap.
Yeah, it was just at South Croydon's huddle there, and we already saw their defensive mark inside the 50. Lee Adams is really happy with their setup behind the ball, and this quarter with the win, they're looking to really use them runners off half-back, outrun Bayswater this term.
And just from the Bayswater huddle boys, Paul McCormack's pretty happy. He thinks they're winning the contested ball. He's really happy with that. But he says he wants them to do more with it, and he wants them to use the ball better rather than bombing it in long.
Thanks to Brett Beston just there talking, and Tim Fitzsimmons before him, and the ball moved around the outer side again, and Bayswater have got the same colours in my head. Bayswater got it inside 50 once more. They're skirting around the boundary side again. Tackle flies in. Doggies dispossessed, but it's still with the Waters as they drive it into the forward pocket. Late fly comes in from McLeod, brings it to ground level where it's a contest for the ball. Kicks, flies out. Is it going to be Galvin? Bryce Galvin got taken out as he flew high at it. He feels aggrieved that he got taken high. The umpire said play on, so the pack of 20 did so. It's a ball up 20 metres out. It's still with King. It taps it out of the back, but not to his advantage. His teammate McInerney works it, and the umpire flying kick there from the Bulldogs. I missed everything. I was looking away. Bulldogs had a flying shot and hit the front 2 minutes into their first term. Bring back BWS in the broadcast, and I didn't know what you're talking about then, BWS.
I'm just letting you know that the Coke's on the table.
Okay,
and it's in a can.
Yes.
So the kick comes out now, goes in towards the middle of the ground. Big Maxi, King couldn't quite pull the mark down, goes after it again. Little handball comes out. Bryce Galvin couldn't trap it. Now the Dogs, quick kick up towards the half-forward line. Charging at the football, there was Tucker. King was there over the football as well. Over the top there, Schroeder. Little handball out there by McCluskey was good to the skipper in Galvin. Switches the ball out wide. This is promising. Here's Vanderlack. Couldn't quite trap the football. Another turnover happening here. Looping handball by Rosier. Goes out wide. It is picked up here by Walker. Gets a handball away, and now up towards the half-forward line. Still not hitting the targets either side, and over the boundary line she goes for a boundary throw-in.
It just shows there, though, that if you don't hit your targets early and the handball went astray, then South Croydon can hurt you on that rebound. Yep. So Basie just got to get that. They're getting their hands on the football well and moving it through well, but just that last kick is always hurting them.
So King got the knockdown, still very close again. Galvin at the bottom of the pack. He was asking for a free, as was his opponent.
They all were.
I didn't want a bar of that one, so boundary throw-in just inside the forward arc for South Croydon. Currently trailing by 1 point. It was well done there by King. Stolen out of the ruck. That is an absolute corker. No, he just missed it. I think he might have hit the post there. He grazed it on the way through. Well, that would have been one of the goals of the season if it had been the case. Just stole it and slammed it on the boot in the swing around from 45 out. I tell you what an effort. Got excited about that one, and all scores are level once again.
Bit of a let-off there for Bayswater. Short kick finds Stallion in the back pocket, so they really haven't progressed. The zone set up. As the Dogs try to trap it in, King will get there first. The big man just drops it when it gets to his chest. Has to be the tackler, and that's Max King we're talking about, because Daniel King is about 3 foot shorter than him.
They nearly played a 12-man zone inside the forward 50 then. That's how hard it was for Bayswater to get it out.
And the Doggies go inside 50 again. Flying kick goes towards Tucker, and Tucker takes the mark on the chest. Right on the boundary line, he's looking to
Looks
run.
like he wants to swing around here,
Yeah,
Stevie Johnson-like.
But he's got to get 10 metres these days. Is it 10 these days? But he's got now the umpire giving him the space to go onto his right boot. Arcs 2 metres in, he comes, puts it to the post inside, I reckon. That is a beautiful goal from the left boundary side. And Tucker gets his first for the season. He had 50 on the board last year. Now Doggies in round 1 lead by 6 points.
And he's the worrying man for me. That's the Tucker Morse setup. He has been a real danger. Every time that ball's gone in the forward line or is pushed up, he's been a little bit too tall, a little bit too clean. So that's the one worry I've got in that structural line up there for Bayswater at the moment.
And you look at the two forward lines in comparison. You're looking down there now at that South Croydon. They're all talls. In the first quarter, you look down the Bayswater forward line. They're all short, and I think that if they're going to kick the ball a little bit longer than what Bayswater did, well, they're going to certainly outmark them down there in that forward 50.
So the ball back in the middle here. King got the knockdown that time. Looping handball out wide. Sewell took it, got the handball away. That was good play. Walker linking up well there with Rosier. Up towards the half forward line, swinging around on the left there is Mallison. Inside forward 50 or thereabouts. Carley takes it 55 out from goal. A sloppy looking kick right up to the top of the goal line there. But Bayswater will have the numbers. Handball over the top, found Schuth. He went out wide. Here Searle got dumping kick. He's out of bounds on the full, but I think he copped one as he kicked it, so it will come back.
It's a bit silly, really, because he was just driving it to the boundary.
So downfield free kick. So Bryce Galvin.
He's going back to the kicker.
So Benny Searle. Almost seems like every time we call Bayswater, Searle cops a few. He's a good player, gutsy player. I love the way he goes about it.
That was late enough to take it downfield, wasn't it?
Well, I thought it should have been downfield. It was after he kicked it.
I think it's because it landed outside the field of play.
Yeah, you're spot on, Davo. Kick up there, and Max King goes up, takes the mark uncontested, but held off the play was Jack Callanan. So another free kick to Basie. No, he's eventually he's paid the mark to King. So a little bit of confusion happening out here between the umpires in the last few minutes. Well, he took the mark anyway, regardless of whether it was a push. So it comes in Zoma. He had the front spot at the fall of the ball, top of the goal square, running into an open one is Zoma, and he slams it through. Doggies have got a couple in a row now, and on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, as we cross the 7.5 minute mark of this second term, they increase their lead to 12 points, 4-2-26 to Bayswater 2-2-14.
There's a difference. You can kick the ball long when you got talls.
That's right.
And there was a beautiful long kick from King then into that area, and you've got two talls up there that can contest. Oh, it's a worry. I think it's a worry for Bayswater.
I think that Bayswater, they just got to go back to short passing out of defence, keep the ball low rather than trying to get distance.
Ball up, King versus Schoof. King always gets over the top of Schoof, wins the tap forward. Bayswater mids
holding on Dan King off the ball there.
And the advantage is paid. It goes down ground through O'Neill. O'Neill gets it out wide, but Jones couldn't keep it inside the boundary line. And it's half forward for the Bulldogs. So it's just when they're scrapping for possession, they're giving away free kicks in the stoppages, Bayswater, lately.
Yeah, they need things to run for them at the moment, and everything's kind of like going against them. So they just need to steady it a little bit.
Schoof tries to pull King out of the way, but King bounces to his feet first, tries to get a hand pass forward. It's now inside 50. Tackle from Coughlin. Now at ground level, it's Jones. Jones runs into an open goal. Welcome back to the kennel. Matt Jones, his first goal for 2017. Look for more of that this year. Now they stretch out to a 3-goal lead. South Croydon 5-2-32, 18 points advantage over Bayswater, 2-2-14.
And that 3-goal lead has come in no time at all. Look, I think Bayswater somehow have just got to control the football for the next 5 or 10 minutes. You know, it doesn't matter if they don't get yardage, just control the football and slow the opposition down a bit.
And what they've been doing is they've been trying to flick it out quickly and missing targets. And as the South Croydon coach said, they're going to try and run them off their feet. Their rotations are fantastic at the moment, South Croydon.
Yeah.
And they're rotating extremely smart with players coming off, going to the back half, then to the forward half, then back off.
It's cross down boundary side to Brett Beston.
Yeah, it's a really different game now that the wind is, and South Croydon have got the wind, and Bayswater, you can see their composure. It's starting to rain, so they're going to need to address that pretty quickly, or this game could be over in the near future.
Well, they got the clearing kick, inside forward 50. McCluskey got the kick out, but it's still in the hands now of Jones across the 50 on the left boot. He pushed it very, very wide, and over the boundary line it goes on the full. So,
but again, he had the control of the football, played on, and then missed the target. They've just got to slow it down and be a bit more patient, Basie, at the moment.
So the kick out of the danger zone. Well, no one could get past Max King. He stood strong. He's had a good game. He's won a lot of knockouts as well, and covering a lot of ground and covering a lot of distance. With that kick, it goes all the way. What an absolute monster that was from the big man, Maxie King. What a first half he's having, and he slams through his first. South Croydon, well, they're piling them on now. They've got a 4-goal lead at the 10-minute mark of this second term. 6-2-38 to 2-2-14.
That's 70 metres that's covered.
Yeah.
Not the whole way in the air, but he's taken that mark just inside the square and put it into the goal squares. But again, poor kick from Bayswater, long kick into the breeze to a tall, and they're just not playing smart at the moment, Bayswater.
And like you said, they played on. There's no reason to play on when you're kicking against the wind. You just got to hold the ball up and waste some time if you can.
But Zoma and Max King, they know that if they keep them in front position, they're the ones who can mark the ball in the contest with the ball dropping short. Ground level Van Ruyen wins the centre clearance, drives it inside 50. It's a lot of doggies numbers around it, but it might be a 3 grabber. No paid mark to Bayswater, and it spills to ground with the umpire say, give it to me.
Now they need to set up properly, Bayswater.
Yeah.
Let's cross down boundary side.
Yeah, South Croydon are really getting on top of the midfield this quarter on the back of Max King's ruck work, and he's now resting up forward, so he looks like he's going to be a real dangerous target while he's down there.
So Bryce Galvin did the ruck work for Bayswater at ground level. They fly in the pack both sides, and it's another ball up 40 metres out from Bayswater's goals. This is probably the best way they can set up. Work from a stoppage. Heap of numbers around the contest. O'Reilly doing the ruck work for the Dogs. Ground level again, Bayswater win it, but it's a hand pass trying to get into the open spaces that doesn't work. So the Bulldogs chop it off, get it in open space. They run from all directions, and it's a push out for the first man that got there, and Bayswater will get the free kick, and well done there by Vanderlack. He put his head over it, first to get there, and the players come over the top of him and infringed him.
We can't go long.
No, you can't go long. They'll be outmarked.
Down there.
Yeah.
He kicks it in the pocket. There's all red, white and blue, and one of them takes an easy mark, and it's a hand pass out the back from Walker, and they're off to the races on the outer side. Jones is going to be a runner, eventually ignored the option of Jones. Now they go through the middle of the pack. Working nicely is Sewell. Sewell gets it out to the outer side, and they're doing nicely through Del Papa. Incoming, nearly marked there by King, but it's been chopped off by his teammate, and they get it into the goal area, and Max King does everything. He rucks, he goes forward, and it was Cuthbert who delivered it, and King takes the mark on the chest with metres clear. He's at the same position that Tucker was early, but it's a deliberate shot. It's going to be a drop punt, so Cuthbert, or King should I say, got Cuthbert on my brain now. So it's King. Right foot, cute angle, puts it over left post, but it just moves a little bit too left from there, and it's a minus score. 6-4-40, 26-point advantage over Bayswater at 2-2-14, and nearly a coast-to-coast goal.
7 great pieces of individual play there with their run and spread. So, you know, this is the thing. Bayswater had it in their forward line and missed a simple handball, and away it went. So they've just got to be, we've talked about it a lot, they've got to control it when they've got it and be a bit more patient. They're just really, they're trying to create something out of nothing at the moment.
So Jess Moore.
18-man zone. They've got
a good disposal about him usually. Plays onto himself and then wobbles it up towards the half-back line. They've got the numbers at the fall here. Vanderlack got the handball away. Strong tackle there by Sewell. He did well, got to release the football. Snap around the body by Mellison, and he puts through his second goal of the afternoon. Well, he had no time to get boot to ball there, but he just had the awareness and where the goals were, and he put it through the big sticks. And South Croydon, well, they are well and truly in control of this game now in the second term. We've gone halfway, 14 and a half minutes gone on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 7-3. 45 to Bayswater 2-2-14. It's all doggies this quarter.
That was purely the zone then, wasn't it?
It was the zone. They squeezed them out of it. That's right.
Them out of it.
It's crossed down boundary side to Brett Beston.
We talked about it at quarter time. Paul McCormack was calling for more composure from Bayswater, but they've been anything but composed. And of course, as we've just mentioned, the zone is just absolutely killing them in this quarter.
Back into the middle of Bayswater Oval. Galvin Bryce wins a hand pass forward. Trying to get onto it was O'Reilly, but the turnover ensues from the Dogs' pressure. They've got numbers to burst out through Zoma.
Nice.
Zoma hands it off to a running teammate in Cuthbert. Cuthbert drives it into the position where King punching late. Good defence. Well done by Galvin. This time it was Mitch Galvin in the last line. King had his name written all over it, and a late punch comes in from Galvin.
Dave, how pleasing is it to a coach when you've got a guy like Zoma just runs through the middle of them and spreads them everywhere?
Their run has been very good this quarter, South Croydon.
Bryce Galvin do the rucking versus, and over the top goes King. He had a foot in extra height over him, and it pushes towards the boundary line where the players see it over again. 20 metres around from the right behind post, where South Croydon have added 5 goals in the first 16 minutes of this second term, to stretch out to a 31-point lead. Quick kick out of the pack, just to the right. And Doggies now 32 points in the lead, 46 phase 14 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I think every team's going to be looking at Max King and thinking, how are we going to stop him? Because he's got everything. Yeah. He goes forward, he rucks well, he's mobile, and he's got a great hoof on him as well.
Moore kicked it in. McInerney of the Scott variety took it in the back half, kick out towards the cell direction. He's given away a free kick for a bit of a push there, so a little bit Tiggy Touchwood, but
out on the full, I think.
Umpire was right on the mark. Out on the full, was it, Soupy? Oh, no, I thought it was a push. Getting the thumbs up from Leroy Green. As it comes up now, inside forward 50, Schroeder had the front spot. He couldn't quite pull it down over the top, getting a fist on it there. O'Reilly trying to find the safety at the boundary line. Galvin was in there, got the handball away. O'Reilly snaps it around the body, and up and under kicks. Earl had the front spot, brought it to ground level, charging in after it. There was the hyper McGilvray Smith, got it out towards there in Searle. He was quickly met upon there by Jason Wan. That was a good effort there by Wan. Keeps the ball alive, and now South Croydon there through King, kicks it up towards, well, the wing position. It was the scrubber, and Van Ruin was there to see it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
But even in that situation, 2 South Croydon players pushed right back into that defensive area then. If it had gone forward, Bayswater would have been outnumbered 1-3, and they would have run it back down again.
Bryce Galvin had the front spot. Came out Searle, left it for Van Ruin. In the end, he was brought to ground without the football. Umpire said it was okay. Scooping upon it there was Jones, but boundary line beats all plays. No, it wasn't. The umpire was a late caller, and it was a free kick to Van Ruin, but he moved it on to Galvin, but once again, we'll go back to Van Ruin. So, waiting for him to reset. Inside forward 50 now. It's almost like he just targeted James Crowell there, because it just sat up nicely for the big man and he took the mark. Just poked it up towards the half back line, where taking the mark there was Rosier. He's happy to take his time as well. They're using the wind to their advantage this quarter. Good mark there by Jess Moore with the flight of the football. Goes back and takes a strong mark on the left boot. Switches it into the middle of the ground. Schroeder on the right boot, squeezed to kick. They've just got to hit targets moving forward now, Bayswater. That's where they've fallen down in this quarter. Take it slow, but at least hit the target as they go inside 50 now, up towards the forward pocket. It probably wasn't the highest percentage of play, looking for Callan, and over the top of him it goes. Lots of dogs around as we go to Grant Campbell, thanks to Choose Tap Match Stats.
Inside 50s in the second quarter, 11-6 in favour of South Croydon, and their win clearance is 9-5.
Trailing by 32 points. Bayswater, they need something, and it's in their forward arc here, but barging his way through there was Mallison, but Bayswater still have the numbers. Handball looking for Van Ruin out wide underneath the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Couldn't find him and bounces over and out.
There was a classic case before where Bayswater had control of the football. They didn't look sideways at all. They only looked down the ground and kicked into a pack. They had three blokes sideways that they could have run the ball through the middle. So they're just
Is that height issues?
No, I think it's more the fact of a little bit of confidence at the moment. They've gone into not panic mode, but
gone into their shell a bit.
But they have gone into their shell, definitely.
2 stoppages in a row. This time Dan King at the fall of the ball just got boot to ball, and he did everything he needed to. Dan King, the superstar, 200 game player today. Congratulations to him again, and over it goes. Gained a valuable 30 metres there.
So when you're playing an opposition that's too tall and too quick, you've got to control the ball.
That's right.
Control the ball, deny them the football, and they're not doing that at the moment.
Oh.
So Schuth versus King at the fall ball. Here comes the doggies inside forward 50 looking for Zomer. He couldn't quite get it. Schroeder, little handball back to Moore, who's going to chip it over the top. This is handy. He's Stallion. He needs to get rid of it quickly. What a sensational run down by Paddy Rosier, and he's been absolutely pinged. And Rosier will be able to have a shot on goal here. He's about 45 metres out. Not the biggest kicker in the team, but I think with the wind behind him, he should be able to make the distance from here.
I don't blame him, though, because he looked upfield and there was nobody there. There was 3 opposition players, so he had to go back inboard, and obviously he got caught out. But
what a chase down, though. It was absolutely scintillating.
He's been quite impressive, Rosier.
Yeah.
So Rosier comes in now to make it 6 in a row for the Dogs, and he's squeezed in a behind. So on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, time on here in the second term, 21 minutes gone, and it is all South Croydon here in the second term. They lead by 33 points, 75-47 to Bayswater 2-2-14.
Does he get the added advantage of having a brother that you could easily confuse him with?
Yes.
Gets double the possessions every time, both of them. Now the hand pass comes out as the Dogs lock it up at half forward. They get it to centre half forward with the numbers, and here he goes. Jones from 45 metres out pushes it to the right. And I was gushing earlier as he dashed out of the pack at the middle of the ground, and I'm gushing now as he rushes towards goal, but he missed.
Again, it's that zone. They just can't get it out.
No.
Now they've got it and control it. But have a look at that zone. It's kept its shape the whole time. Look, the shape hasn't changed.
He could have switched, but he's got to be aware of it. They're not looking sideways at all.
Bayswater try to clear the 60 metres out. This time they rove the drop mark from South Croydon, but the kick goes to 2-on-1, and the 2 through Marshall will win the day. As the Dogs, they've got the switch on. One short pass, it hits the target, opens up through Del Papa. It's sent half back. Here's the runner on wing. It's Jones. Matty Jones has time to drop the mark, gets onto his right foot, puts it nicely in position for Coughlin. Coughlin gets under the left. He's going for his teammate at full forward, but beautifully positioning was Moore, and he need to save the day. And one other can save the day for Bayswater. It's Galvin. One bounce goes Joel. Long 30-metre hand pass instead of a kick, but he puts his teammate under pressure because that's where the zone's set up. Here go the Dogs from 55. Unload a long kick. Just misses was King. So that was from 50, and suddenly it was a shot at goal.
It was, but again, they had control of the football and they played on Bayswater and tried to rush. They'd looked down the ground and would have seen that South Croydon had pushed the zone back.
So just missed to the right, and the Doggies have a 35-point lead.
McCluskey got it from Moore, back to Moore. So kicks it up towards the wing position, using his body there. O'Reilly gave a little bit of a shove, and it was quite evident. So disappointed asking the question, but it certainly was a free kick to Robbie Mallison, who's kicked 2 cracking goals in this first half. Wind around now on the left boot, sends the ball inside forward 50. Galvin at the full, the ball copped one over the shoulder or copped one on the scone. Either way, it's a high free kick.
Reversal. Oh, pushes all over the place. Sorry to break in there.
No, explain it, Gav.
Dog's got a turnover because Sewell's just been pushed over. He was standing about 2 metres off the ball, and Bayswater player, I'm not sure who did it, but he just shoved Sewell onto the ground.
And if they're fair dinkum about it, which is fine, that's exactly what they should have done. But then that player then got put on his behind. So they should have just pulled it up.
Luckily for him.
Sewell's already kicked one, and just bark it down for a second there for Sewell. The Dogs have kicked 6 in a row in this second term. They are absolutely destroying Bayswater at the moment. They cannot putting a foot wrong. They're using the breeze to their advantage. They're riding the confidence bandwagon as we speak. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 24.5 minutes gone in this second term. 8-7-55 to Bayswater, 2-2-14. Bayswater haven't scored in this second term.
No, 1 point.
1 point they have.
But they've had a lot of the football. You have a look, I reckon they've had 40% of the football for the quarter so far, but they haven't used it, and as we said, they haven't tried to control the game.
King wins a tap out. Got 2 hands to the ball, but at ground level this time it's been run out by O'Reilly. Hands it off to the running teammate who gets it driving inside 50. Here's a big opportunity. It's Galvin. And Bryce Galvin, who's kicked 30 goals last year, is going to try for his first for 2017. That's a quick ball out of the middle. O'Reilly, strong body, gets it over the running player in McGilvray Smith and drives it to Galvin, who had body position to stand tall 30 metres out. So it's wonder how many centre clearances they've won this quarter, Supu. We'll wait for that answer after this kick from Galvin. Left flank, not much of an angle. Right boot, puts it to the right post and just gets it inside. And that's a relief for the Bayswater faithful. It's now Bayswater 3-2-20, trailing by 35 points late in the second term. The visitors, South Croydon, are 8-7-55.
Centre clearances have been okay for Bayswater. South Croydon only leading at 4-3. Overall clearances for the quarter 11-7 in favour of the Bulldogs. Inside 50 camp 16-7 is probably the most telling stat for the quarter.
So boys, in special comments, that was a good breakaway that time.
Yeah, well, they got the ball out of the middle, and when the kick was very controlled kick, and Bryce Galvin, well, he's gone back and done the job.
Ball back in the middle now. Can Bayswater get on some sort of a roll? It doesn't look that way. As a look away handball found Cuthbert. Hasn't he been good? Trusty left foot inside forward 50. Umpire's blown his whistle. It'll be a free kick to Jess Moore. He's really standing up, Jess Moore. They're getting hammered down in the back line, but he's been one of the players to stand up as he kicks it out wide to O'Reilly. Ray?
Yeah, I was going to say in the AFL that would have gone to the free kick to the forward rather than the full back.
Luckily, we're not watching AFL.
Vanderlark got the handball back away. Handball over the top now. McLeod just kicks it up towards the half-forward line. It was a 2-on-1 situation. Fantastic smother coming in. No fear, Groves. And over the boundary line it goes, right in front of the Bayswater faithful.
How's the effects spike on that one?
To have Giggles back on board in season 2017. High throws it in. Dan King, as always, at the fall of the ball. We'll hand it back to the umpire. If they can snag another one, it'll definitely give them some confidence. There's no doubt about that. 35-point margin to South Croydon. Deep into this second term. Little handball over the top. This is looking more promising. Here's Hoare up towards the half-forward line. He didn't mean it, but it doesn't matter. Groves takes a mark. He's 55 out. He's got players aplenty inside. Gives it to McLeod. McLeod puts it through. Fantastic play there by Bayswater. They did it in bits and pieces, but that's 2 in a row for them now. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, as we cross the 27.5-minute mark of this second term, they move to 4-2-26. Back under 5-goal margin. South Croydon 8-7-55 margin, 29 points.
Look, controlled the football, a little bit of luck with the kick. Yeah, that's fine.
He got pushed in it, didn't he?
But you take that. The other thing that's been good is the move into the ruck. Shoot's gone into the ruck, and at least he's been able to compete in the air, because that's where the South Croydon have just been able to get their hands on the football all the time.
King wins it down. Jones sharks it from the centre circle. He just kicks it as long as he can. Inside 50, Daniel King drops it to the ground. The umpire says he held his opponent trying to get to the ball. And it's a free kick going to Schroeder, who was in good body position as King tried to get in front of him. So the switch is on, and it goes over the head of Mitch Galvin, and even the switches, the short passes aren't working.
Well, it wasn't a good switch, because even if he'd have got it, you look upfield, he had nothing to go to. It's no good switching if there's nothing upfield. You know, it's got to look at the second and third option after you switch.
So set up now for the Dogs as they trap the ball inside the forward 50. Normally a goal comes from such a setup, because this kick for Moore has to be good. As he rove the ball, that's good.
That's good vision.
He found his short there in Groves. Late in for Bayswater. Now they go the outer side with a switch, and McInerney has got it. Doesn't know where to go to next. It's 2-on-1. It better suit his teammate in Hoare, who has to get to it first, but on the double-up tackle, he pushes off the tacklers. He gets it to Vanderlack, who goes inboard and finds Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen drives it as long as he can. McInerney in good position, in the pocket, takes it on the chest because he knew where the ball was going to drop. And McInerney's scoreboard pocket, right side of Bayswater Oval. He's going to try to put them within a sniff, which they haven't been for a while. It was even at quarter time. Doggies have got 6 goals this quarter. The Bayswater fight back late in this term as we tick towards 30 minutes gone, second term. Wayne McInerney from the pocket doesn't make the umpire move at all. He said, thanks very much. That's a goal. Well done, Wayne. Wayne McInerney puts his first goal on the day. He had 58 last year. Such an important player for Bayswater.
Yes, that was fantastic play out there because they were outnumbered. They won it, but they controlled the football again, and that was the key to it. I really like the fact that they've been a little bit smarter with some of their structures and setups. They've still got to be careful not to just play on and kick wildly. Because South Croydon are pushing players back, and we could see them covering it.
And as we said, you know, when you switch, you've got to look at what he's got to do with the ball, and they haven't done that on certain occasions.
They're going to loose in defence to just make sure South Croydon don't kick another goal.
O'Reilly wins the tap out off King, but it's Bulldogs at centre back. Running into the tackler is McDonald. He spills it to ground level where Bulldogs have got the numbers. Del Papa will help out at the back of the square. He uses a teammate just to get it out wider. Grandstand side, nice leading effort there. And Mark on the lead by Rosier. This time it's Patrick. So he's centre wing, looking for options. It's quite stagnant now, but the talls are up there being Tucker. Tucker comes in for the punch, but it's Galvin. Mitch Galvin taking the mark. Sorry, Bryce Galvin taking the mark. He gets it into O'Reilly. Been very impressive, this inclusion into the Bayswater lineup. Gets it out wider. Searle's going to be a runner. His hand pass was a little bit fierce for McInerney. They have to go back for it, so working at Bayswater, outer side. Searle hands it off to the runner. And now the driving ball inside 50. Good mark. Well done. As Bayswater get it inside. Nicely effort there for Vanderlack. Ground level, no mark paid. As the Doggies come in to just jump on the ball.
I don't know why he didn't pay that mark.
I don't know.
Well, everyone put the glasses down because the supporters behind you are clapping.
No, to me it was a mark.
So it's a ball up, 40 metres out. It's a 23-point margin for the Dogs. Last 3 goals in the game, though, to Bayswater. Against the wind, all possession. Doggies bounce the ball to the centre. Now they've got the runners. Del Papa just kicks it, hoofs it towards the boundary line on the outer side. Galvin trying to work into himself in Mitch Galvin. And we've gone over the boundary, and we'll go to our boundary riders now. Tim Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, Lucas O'Neill just on the bench before, getting a bit of treatment on his foot, so it looks to be a bit of an issue there, but he just came back on about 3 minutes ago, so we'll see how he runs it out.
32 minutes gone, second term. Long quarter. As Bayswater, premiers from Division 2, fell about 6 goals behind and now have brought it back to a 23-point game. And they're playing a bit smarter. What do you guys reckon last 10 minutes has been like for them?
Well, they had to because the game was getting out of their reach, but they've certainly put themselves back into the contest.
So they'll spin their way through Galvin. Joel Galvin gets it to his runner in Vanderlack. Off the halfback, they're going backwards, hoping to go forward. Puts Bryce under a heap of pressure, but he's got composure. Gets it to Vanderlack. Back of the square. Now they'll run it through the middle. Mark taken by McGilvray-Smith. He's quick to kick it towards the running player. Callanan just drops it, but picks it up. Right boot. Bouncing it from 40. Will it go through? Simon, goal! Bayswater get a goal right on the buzzer. And Cullinan, just a hopeful ball from 45 metres, 45-degree angle, put it to the goal square and it rolls in. Bayswater close the gap. Half-time, Bayswater 6-2-38. South Croydon 8-7-55. And I'll just quick comments before we wrap up on the goals.
Davo, football.